Hi guys, I know it's been a little while since I put out another video. I said I was going to put out another video about without some crystal balls, but I didn't. I was keeping up on it, but I just didn't feel like it any longer. I was just kind of tired of the girl, you can say. So what I did want to make a video was I had actually watched James Charles' video where he was taking accountability for his actions. And I found it kind of funny because you're taking accountability, you're calling these boys victims, but yet and still you're blaming your victims because you're saying that they lied to you and basically that they were the ones to blame because they lied to you, which really doesn't make too much sense to me. It doesn't equal out for the mere fact, how can you take accountability for something, but yet and still you are blaming the victims? Doesn't make sense. Like you said on many occasions, and like how many people made videos today bringing up an old podcast where James Charles had mentioned the fact that he likes younger guys, he's not attracted to older guys, and it is what it is. You're a predator. Allegedly. Let's just say that, because I'm not trying to get sued or anything like that, like Miss Without Some Crystal Balls. So, especially when my videos are not even monetized in any shape, form, or fashion. So I was just I did make some notes because the video wasn't that long, but there was just a lot in a little bit of time because he talks really fast. But he did give a trigger warning, which he did not actually state what the trigger warning was, just that there was a trigger warning. Anybody else that I've ever seen put a trigger warning in their video, they do say what the trigger warning is regarding, because people can be triggered by many different things. So he was talking about 2 minors that had came forward, one last year, one recently. He said last year to make it sound like it was so long ago, but I believe I think Dustin Daly said it was December. Like, granted, December was last year, but it was not that long ago. And he stated that they both said they were 18 years old and that he was taking accountability, because had he done any research on these boys, he would have realized that these boys both stated on their social media that they were under the age of 18. Now, if you are searching out someone, you are actively searching them out. They did not hit you up and say something to you. Either way, excuse me, I know if I'm looking on somebody's social media, you can blatantly see how old they are if it states it. So I didn't really understand that. I guess that was his way of trying to get out of the fact that he was talking to these young boys. Even though, again, he stated on many occasions that he likes young boys. So if you like young boys, and it is what it is, then you like young boys. Admit it. Well, you did admit it, but now you're trying to say that you're looking for somebody who's older or around your age to be in a relationship. That was another thing that really had got me. He apologized to the boys. He said that he was reckless, and his reason for being reckless was the fact that he was desperate for a relationship. Now, let's be real about one thing, okay? Sex with people is not really hard these days. Like, people give it up like that. No problem. They have no issue just being a one-night stand. So it's not like you don't have the opportunity to either hire someone, because I hate when I watch a lot of those like Predator Poachers and Predator Poachers Toronto. I love that guy's voice. He has a really nice voice. I've never seen his face. I don't think he's ever showed his face, but I do like to watch those videos. And, you know, it's like they always, when they get caught, they always like to use the fact that, oh, you know, like nobody wants to talk to them and it's hard for them to find somebody and yada, 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 because that's what it all sounds like after a while. Now, you being desperate is never an excuse or a reason to go after somebody who's underage. And when you go after somebody who's underage, that means you are trying to have any type of relationship with someone under the age of consent. Now, I'm not sure what the age of consent is in California. I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I'm very well aware that the age of consent is 16. But for the age of consent to be with, like, if you're 16 and you're with somebody who is over 18, there has to be a 5-year span. Like, you can't be 16 and the man is 35. Like, that's way too old. Too many years in between. So, let's keep going. He was stating that his idea of a relationship was more important than him trying to figure out who he is speaking with. Now, again, you can, if you're really that desperate for sex or some type of companionship, like, first of all, like, doesn't he live in LA? Like, you can easily go and pay for it. Like, I don't understand why anyone in their life would ever need to try to seek out a child when you can very easily go pay a sex worker. It's what they're doing. It's what they do. You don't necessarily have to have sex with them. You can go pay them to have a conversation with you. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. I'm sure they would actually find more pleasure in just having to have a conversation with you than actually having to have you touch them. Like, and, like, I don't know. Like, I really don't understand that. If you're that desperate, pay for it. Like, let's be real, James. It's not like you don't have the money. So, what's the problem? I'm not understanding. Sorry, I went out of camera view. Had to fix myself in the chair. The chair started rolling back. My feet are not touching the floor. Now, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Then he stated that, oh, well, besides his idea of a relationship was more important than finding out the ages of the people that he's speaking to. Like, where does that make sense? Where does that make sense? Like, first of all, those boys, I seen both of them. They both look very young. Now, I am going to be 40 this year. I would never in my life speak to someone who's even my daughter's age. My daughter's going to be 23 this year. And that's 16 years difference, because I was 16 when I had my daughter going on 17. So, like, I would never have that much of an age difference, even though I prefer older anyway. Like, that's just me. I think anyone who is more than 10 years older than someone and they decide to have some type of relationship with them, I think it is disgusting. I think you are disgusting. Now, that is my opinion. Not everybody shares my opinion, but I think it's disgusting. You know who I'm talking to. It's disgusting. Okay. Now, he was saying he was doing his research before he made the video on taking accountability. Okay. He said that in his video, No More Lies, he did promise to be careful and that he did not uphold that promise. No, you didn't, James. No, you didn't. Because you like young boys. Like, let's be real. It is what it is. Just be honest. People need to start being honest and taking accountability for their own actions. I don't know where, you know, everybody wants to play the blame game and blame somebody else for something that you did when you decided to do it. That's like a woman being with a man and the man sells drugs and you decide to go bust a lick for him. Okay? Now, you go bust a lick, you get caught. But now you want to tell. Like, why? You decided to do it. Nobody put a gun to your head and forced you. So if you decide to do something, guess what? You should take accountability for your actions. Not try to tell on somebody to get away with it. Even though it's not like he was trying to tell on anybody. What he was trying to do was blame the victims. Because he specifically called them victims. And he apologized to the victims. Okay, so if they're victims and you're apologizing to them, how are you blaming them in the same sentence? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Stop it. Stop it. You already stated that you committed a crime. Accept responsibility for the crime that you committed. And then he continuously throughout the whole video just stated that he was being lied to. Oh, they tried to talk to him. They called him cute. They lied to him. Like, they're children. What do you expect from them? You lied about and said that she was a girl when you have a penis between your legs. So that makes you a boy. So why would you... Oh, yeah, because they've... a couple videos that I was watching had brought up his catfishing situation in New York where he grew up, where he had catfished, I think it was the football team or the soccer team or something, into sending nude photos of themselves to him. Like, okay. Now, he also did state after his apology that he was being reckless. And he was being he was being reckless because even though every other portion of his life was working out so great, that his relationship portion of his life was not so good. So he was on a hunt. Because, you know, those predators, they be on hunts. They be looking for some victims. And then he stated that he was desperate. Like, are you that desperate that you want to be with a child? Because, again, they were children. So you wanted to be with children. You were that desperate. You were that desperate for some companionship, even though you could have bought it. So you would much rather go ahead and have some victims instead of actually... hold on. I just lost my whole train of thought because I just... So basically, he was so desperate that it wasn't important to him to find out the ages of the children that he was speaking with. They look like children. They strictly look like children. And... okay. He blames the lack of relationship experience for the reason for him seeking out children to talk to. And he also did say he was talking to professionals. And then he started discussing the power imbalance. And then he blamed the children for lying to him some more. Oh my goodness. How are you going to blame children for lying to you when obviously you should have looked at, that's your responsibility, especially as being the adult in the relationship. It just sounds crazy. I'm sorry. I don't even mean to be laughing. The situation itself is not funny in any way. It is disgusting, again, because anybody who seeks to harm a child is disgusting to me. And then he was stating that, okay, we're going back to this power imbalance. He was stating that he wasn't intentionally weaponizing his fortune or fame, but you know that these children, because let's be real, a majority of his audience are children. So then he was claiming to understand where he went wrong. Basically, throughout his whole video, he was trying to direct the narrative by claiming that he did not do proper research to find out the age of these children. You notice how I keep saying children, because they're children. Okay, as long as we get that children situation very clear. He was blaming the victims by constantly saying he was being lied to. Like, what I should do is go back into the video and watch it again and count how many times he stated that he was being lied to. It's ridiculous. And then he was stating that he is going to stop using his For You and Explore page as a dating app. Why would you do that anyway? Especially, again, because a majority of your fans are underage. How would you even, like, Again, it's because he's actively seeking children. So if you're actively seeking children, allegedly, you're going to look for children. He said that he was educated now on and that he was taking time off to educate himself. Okay, so if you're educated now on how you are wrong and that's why you're taking accountability, why are you taking time off to educate yourself? I don't really understand that. But I guess it's not for me to understand. Let's be real. You're just wrong. You admitted to a crime on your social media. Now let's see what happens. Let's see if there's any repercussions. Because had this been a normal person, and when I say normal person, I mean such as you or I, someone who's not rich and famous, you know. I wonder if you know, you or I would be hauled off to jail. They'd be trying to lock us under the jail. They'd be putting us in PC so quick. But because it's James Charles, and he has like 25 point something, I think it was 25.7 million subscribers, let's see if there's any repercussions for James Charles admitting to a crime on his social media. Because that's exactly what he did. You actively admitted to a crime on your social media. So let's see if there's any repercussions for Miss James Charles. Because it seems like all your famous friends are just, shh. You don't hear from them right now. Especially Gabriel. Like, what happened? I thought you liked to run your mouth and, you know, talk about other people and what they're crying about and talking about. How come you're not talking about your friend? I'd really like to know why. And Miss Nikita Dragon, where are you? Whew. It's so quiet in here now. Why? Everybody likes to talk their shit while the other person has the upper hand in the situation. Once that's no longer there, guess what? All you hear is crickets. That's all you hear is crickets. Okay, and then I was watching some of the videos. Actually, that's how I even found out that James Charles put out a video taking accountability. It was because I came across Dustin Daly's video saying that James Charles took zero accountability. And I tell you, if he wasn't so right, him and Nick Snyder, I love them two together. And I like how they're always on each other's videos. I don't know. Well, I've always liked Nick. Hey, bitches. Hey, bitches over here. And that's it. But, again, I don't mean to laugh about the situation. But if I don't laugh about it, like, it's just going to be very uncomfortable. Because I think it is disgusting when someone grown decides to take advantage of a child. If they touch children, if they speak to children on the internet, like, it's all disgusting. If they take advantage of the fact that a child may be in need of something, whether it be money, whether it be, you know, like a parental figure that's out of the child's life, and this grown-ass person decides to take advantage of this child's situation, then guess what? You're taking advantage of a child. So, again, you know, James Charles admitted several times that, you know, he is not attracted to older people, but now all of a sudden you're searching for someone who's around your age or older who makes you laugh. Hee hee ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Well, guess what, James? Everybody's laughing at you right now. They're laughing at you because, again, you fucked up. How do you have the platform that you have and you decide to keep fucking up? Stop it. I mean, you still have 25.7 million subscribers, so unless all of a sudden, you know, that starts going down tremendously, I mean, you still have subscribers. People are still, I mean, I didn't look into the comment section, but I'm sure they're still sticking up for you. So guess what? If you keep your platform after this, or if you do not go to jail for this, prison, I should say, because that would be a prison sentence, hopefully. For doing anything to a child should be a prison sentence. Because, you know, anything in jail is, I think, 12 or 13 months and under. And if you do something to a child, you should be in prison for a very long time, if not the rest of your life. Look where R. Kelly's sitting. I remember, I mean, back when I was younger, I mean, look, me and my one homegirl, we used to talk and hang out with older guys, older men. Yes, they were men. They were like 25, 26, 27, and we were 15. But they had the cars, and they had the jobs, and You know, so, well, not only that, but, I mean, when I was 15, I was taking care of 2 children already that were not mine, but I was still taking care of them and raising them. So it was, I mean, it was a different lifetime back then also as well. And let's be real, like, children nowadays are much more naive, even though they think they're grown and they think they know everything, but they have no clue. And James Charles, you are fully accountable for your actions. And I hope, I mean, I never wish bad upon anybody, but I do hope that you really did learn from this situation, because this is just insane, and it's a shame, and it needs to stop. We should be protecting our children, not hurting our children. I came across this flyer. It was regarding, I can't remember the name of it. I so wish I could. It was regarding saving veterans for child sex trafficking. Like, anyone who can donate money or has extra money to spare should donate to these veterans saving children who are sex trafficked. Like, it is horrible. And no child should ever have to be hurt in any way. No one should ever hurt a child. Now, well, one last thing I'm going to add to this video, which I don't know why it's even well, it's not relevant to anything with James Charles. It's going to make me start a new video. But Jeffree Star had reviewed the KVD. Probably because Kat Von D does not own any part of it any longer. But I thought you weren't reviewing that brand on your channel. What happened? Your views are down? Because nobody's really fucking with you no more? But I'm going to end this video here. Oh my goodness. Please like and subscribe. I will be putting out more videos, especially regarding this situation as more things transpire. But I do want to say that I really find it disgusting when someone hurts a child. And I really do hope that James Charles really is taking accountability for his actions, because you were actively seeking out children. Allegedly. Well, no, you are, because your audience is made up of children, so you were actively seeking out children. I hope everybody enjoys their night. Mwah. Love you guys. And thank you for taking the time out to watch my video and see what my thoughts were on this situation. Enjoy.